Welcome to Wisdom Way. Today I'm going to discuss the political science chapter number 1, that is the Indian democracy of Seva board. Okay, so before diving into the chapter, let's see the key points. So here we're going to learn about the ideals of constitution, then the federal characteristics of the Indian constitution, then the parliamentary democracy in India. So you see, the name of the chapter is Indian democracy. So before diving into the chapter, what is democracy? Okay, democracy means what? Democracy means the state where the mass people had the full authority and power to elect their own representatives. Okay, they elect their own representatives so that they form a government so that they can hear their problems. So democracy, we can term it, not we can, it is termed as the power of the people. Okay, also in this video we're going to discuss only about the introduction paragraph of the chapter. You see, India was under the British subjugation for nearly 2 centuries, 1757 to 1947. But with the attainment of freedom from the British on 15 August 1947, India stood as the biggest democratic country in the world. So we know India got her independence on 15 August 1947. Before it was under the British domination. Okay, before it was under the British domination, and British nearly ruled India for 2 centuries, means 200 years. That is from 1757 to 1947. A constitution is very essential for an independent and democratic country because the constitution and democracy both are complementary to each other. As such, there cannot be two democratic states without having a constitution of its own. Now see, for a democratic country to exist, there must be a constitution, because constitution and democracy both are complementary, both are dependent to each other, not dependent exactly, both are linked with each other. As such, there cannot be a two democratic state without having a constitution. Now see, let me give a short introduction of constitution. What is the constitution? A constitution is a set of fundamental rights, okay, fundamental rights and laws to govern a state or a country. Okay, similarly, the role of a constitution is meaningless without having democracy. In fact, the process of making a constitution had begun even before India attained her independence. Okay, so the Constitution of India was not made after the independence. It was a long process. The making of the Constitution of India began before its independence. Okay, now see. In the general election held in July 1945 in England, the Labour Party came to power and the new government took the decision to declare independence to India. Accordingly, the Labour Party government of England felt the utmost necessity of a constitution for the new democratic state, that is India. As such, the British government sent the cabinet mission to India in March 1946 to create a congenial environment and to make a necessary preparation for framing a new constitution of India. You see what happened here. In the general election held in 1945 at England, the Labour Party came to power. They win the general election and they declared that the India will get her independence. Okay, they will declare India as an independent nation. So the Labour Party, according to the Labour Party of England, felt the utmost necessity of a constitution for the new democratic state, that is India. So the British government sent cabinet mission to India in 1946. So what is the cabinet mission? Cabinet mission is a group of people, we can say, okay, which came to India for transferring of power and also to create a congenial environment and necessary preparation. So when a nation is to be independent, there must be necessary preparation like the government or these and that things, and also to frame a constitution. So British government sent a cabinet mission to India in 1946 on 24th Okay, so British sent the cabinet mission to India. Now see, the cabinet mission was a unit of three cabinet ministers of England. With the initiative of the cabinet mission, a constituent assembly was formed and its first ever sitting was held on 9 December 1946. 46. The senior member of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Sasinanda Sinha, presided over the first sitting, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected the permanent president of the Constituent Assembly. So, with the initiative of the cabinet mission, a constituent assembly was formed, and first ever their meeting was held on 9 December 1946. The senior member of the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Sachinandan Sinha, presided over the first sitting, means he took over the lead of the first meeting, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the permanent president of the Constituent Assembly. Now, what is a constituent assembly? A constituent assembly is a body or a group of people assembled for drafting the Constitution of India. Now, see, altogether 7 sittings of the Constituent Assembly were held in relation to preparation of the new Constitution of India. The Constituent Assembly constituted a drafting committee on 29 August 1947. So, in order to make the Constitution of India, 11 sittings were held. Okay, and the Constituent Assembly constituted a drafting committee on 29 August 1947. The drafting committee, which was constituted with 7 specialists, all belonging to divergent fields. Okay, so there were 7 members of the drafting committee. They belonged to a diverse field. Was given the great responsibility of preparing the draft of the constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. Okay, and after 3 years of long rigorous labor, the drafting committee prepared a draft copy of the new Indian Constitution, and the same was handed over to its president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, on 26 November 1949. Okay, so this years, and who was the chairman of the drafting committee? This type of sentences we should mark with a pencil. Okay, with the signature on the draft copy of the new constitution by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the people of India got a new constitution for themselves. But the new constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. Okay, 1950, due to many administrative and other related problems. So what happened after after 3 years of work, the B.R. Ambedkar handed over the draft copy of the constitution to Dr. Rajendra Prasad, that time President of India, on 26 November 1949. Okay, with the signature on the draft copy of the new constitution, Dr. Rajendra Prasad he signed on the draft copy, and the people of India got a new constitution for themselves. But the constitution came into force on 26 January 1950 due to some problems. Okay, and it is to be noted that India was governed in accordance with the provision of Government of India Act 1935 between the period from 15 August 1947 to 26 January 1950. So during that period of time, after the India got independence on 15 August 1947 till 1950, the India was governed by the Government of India Act of 1935. Okay, so here we came to the end of the introduction paragraph of the chapter. Okay, thank you. On the next video we'll be discussing about the ideals of the constitution. Thank you.